Plaintiff Candace Hines says her son went to school with the defendant, and she believes the defendant is a troubled young man who smokes, drinks, and uses drugs. Candace is suing because she claims the defendant keyed her car in the school parking lot. Defendant Kevin Salgado insists he doesn't use hard drugs and says the only thing he uses recreationally is marijuana. Kevin claims he does not remember keying Candace's car and says his former friend falsely accused him of the crime to get revenge.
Start with you.
Well, Your Honor, I believe we have a troubled young man over here, and I want him to be held accountable for things that he's done. He has no regard for other people's property. He's disrespectful. He has no respect for authority. I'm told that he has a little bit of a drinking problem, does drugs, and he's a little bit of a thief.
Who's telling you all this?
This is what I'm told from my son and other kids, students that went to the high school.
Smoking weed?
I
what?
I believe I've been told it's even more than that.
Oh,
Ecstasy.
hard drugs.
Yes.
All right. Young man?
This is all false.
You don't use hard drugs?
No, I don't use hard drugs. If anything, it's just recreational use of marijuana. That's about it. That's all I'll ever
Does her
extend to.
son and the other people who are probably telling her this smoking weed and drinking as well?
Yes.
My son is a student athlete, sir.
Oh my
does
goodness,
not-
those are the
No.
biggest drinkers. They drink more than anybody. Oh, well, you just busted him, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, but
They have keg parties.
Sure, okay.
I'm a student athlete. I run varsity cross country, varsity wrestling, varsity track. And I'm a triathlete. You know, I'm actually smart. I keep a pretty decent high GPA. You know, I'm planning on going to university. You don't, you know.
How old are you, Kevin?
I am 18.
And what year are you in?
I'm a senior.
You're older than my son. My son is already in college.
Yeah,
okay?
you see there's different birthdays, and with
Right,
all like
right.
rolling late and early and all that good stuff. And something that you don't know about me is that I was actually born and raised in Honduras. So I had to take a year off from school to learn English.
And that's why you don't have any respect for our laws here?
And how does
And personal property?
How do you take me taking a year away from learning English as disrespect, as me learning disrespect for the law?
When I get
authority?
into the case, I'll explain.
Yeah, but you referred to him because his being born in Honduras,
Yeah.
as that's
I
why
didn't
you
refer
don't
to
have.
him. I
Well,
didn't
that's what he spoke of.
Right.
You related it to his Honduran heritage, man.
No, that's
It's
That's
irrelevant.
exactly what you related it to. You said
Okay.
that's why. That's why what then? What is the that's why from?
Maybe because he's not familiar with our laws here. I don't know.
Okay, come on. I've been here since I was 3. I've been.
So you took a year off, and you've been here since you've been 3.
Can I please explain?
By all means.
My guardian used to be my stepfather.
Sir, you don't have to explain
well,
anything.
okay.
It sounds to me that you have achieved more than her son, quite frankly.
Really?
You have the best grades. You are triathletes. You had to take a year off and all of that, and even with your smoking weed and drinking, you still can do all that. So you go ahead, ma'am. Stop all this. You come across like a racist, ma'am, I must tell you. You coming across like a racist. Go ahead, let's get to the property you're suing him for. He's relating
right.
his ethnic heritage to his disrespect for property, and then you're debating his country, and now this is his country.
I've dealt with this young man.
Go ahead.
All right, Your Honor. On May 22nd, I received a phone call from my son stating that his car had been keyed after school. It was on the school property. He told me about it was from the beginning, the front of the car to the back of the car on the driver's side. And I said to him, go and tell the school about it and file a report with them. I'm going to the police department and I'm going to let them know. The car is in my name. My son drives the car. Okay. 2 days prior, my son had had an altercation with another student at the school. We assumed.
Your son?
Yeah.
Your son had an altercation with somebody? Your pure son? With no Honduras in him?
Yes,
Pure
Your Honor.
as snow?
Yes.
Uncut? Born here? Go ahead.
I filed the report with the police department. The officer did go and speak to the other student that we assumed had done the damage to the car, and he didn't think that that was the case. Well, okay, so a week had gone by, and my son came home from school and said, "Mom, the word around the school is that some kid came forward and ratted out Mr. Salgado." I called the police department and spoke with the officer and said, "Is this true?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, as a matter of fact, it is." And he admitted to it. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't Mr. Salgado's property that he damaged. It was my property. And he had no right to do it. And I tried to work with him.
He admitted to you he did it also?
Yes, he did.
Okay. And when you say work with him, he agreed to pay you?
Yes.
Okay, what was the payment plan?
I asked him to give me $100 on the following Monday. It was a couple of days. And he said, "Well, that's not going to happen. I don't have any money." I said, "Well, this has been going on. I expect you to give me $100 down and then another $100 every week until the damage is paid." And he said, "Well, I don't know what to tell you. I can't get that." I said, "Well, I expect to hear from you on Monday, and if not, because the damage is over $1,000, we could file state charges against him." So come Monday, I expected to get a phone call from him, and I did not. I called him, and he said, I don't have the money. I don't know what to tell you."
Okay. And you referred to several other acts of disrespect. What else?
Just no respect for the law.
That's what I'm asking you.
Right.
Another incident? No respect for the law means you break the law regularly.
Well, and that's, Mr. Salgado can explain himself with that because...
Do you break the law regularly? Okay. He said no.
Well,
You're the
that's
one
not
that
true.
accused him
That's
of it.
not true.
He never said he broke the law regularly, so he has nothing to
Would you
explain.
like it, for instance,
You
of
do.
what he broke the law on?
Yeah.
Underage drinking? Is that true, Kevin?
It may or may have not happened. I can't recall.
You know
Well,
her. Sir.
The court records don't lie.
All right, ma'am. Go ahead, young man. Did you commit this property damage?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. Why? Why did you do it?
We need to go back next to like what
Go ahead.
happened.
I'll let you give me your side.
The day before the 22nd, so it would have been the 21st, midnight going to 1. I had been going through a period of where I wasn't sleeping much because of insomnia.
That's cocaine.
Yeah.
You might be right. Hard drugs. Go ahead, young man. You weren't sleeping well.
So I wasn't really sleeping well for the entire week. Sleep deprivation just got worse and worse. And as to when it came up to the 22nd, I went to school. I was in a euphoric state of mind. I was so sleep deprived. I was delirious about really everything that had been going on. First hour had come by. I couldn't even stay awake in class. Second hour came by. I was just dreading going home. So I ended up, figuring I might as well just go home early for lunch with my friend, who ended up being the one who ratted me out. He pretty much gave out a false statement just to get back at me for whatever reason he felt was necessary.
Maybe you did it while you were sleepwalking and
That's
didn't
what I think.
recognize it. Did you admit to doing it?
I was pretty much coerced into admitting that I did it because they
So
were...
you did admit?
No. Can I please explain?
No. Then you can add on what you need to afterwards.
Okay.
Did you admit or did you not?
Okay, I admitted.
All right.
I was coerced to admit.
Tell me
because-
how that went down.
Well, the officer pretty much came down, told me, he's like, "Oh, we know you did it." They gave me all these stats saying like, "We can put you in the jail." It's like, your future's gonna be ruined. So already right there, I'm already shaking. I'm like, what's going on now? And then he just went off on his own way. And then next thing I know, I'm being contacted by Ms. Hine here.
He admitted it to me, and he also
Did
told
you admit to her also?
Yes, Your Honor, I apparently coerced him.
What is the emotional distress for, ma'am?
Well, Your Honor, I have tried and tried. I've given him every opportunity to start paying for the vehicle, the damage, and he has made no attempt whatsoever. I waited months, and I called him and said, Kevin, I'm giving you another chance. You need to pay for what you've done. You need to be held accountable.
Let me just say this to you, ma'am, because if what you're saying is the emotional distress, every bill collector in town would be in court suing for emotional distress. The boy just hadn't paid you the bill that he owes you. But let me also explain to you that based on this police report that I've read, and based on your testimony, there was something going on that we still don't know about, the police don't know about, you don't know about, only he and your son know about. I don't know whether it was some criminal behavior, some school stuff going on, or whatever it was going on, some drug stuff, some drinking stuff, whatever it was. But when it doesn't make sense, like this nonsense he told the police, like this nonsense he's telling me today, like that nonsense he told you, like that nonsense your son told you, there's something else going on. But you keep on thinking what you want to think about your pure son, and it'll come out $1,357 for the property damage. I believe you did it. I believe you know why you did it, and her son knows why you did it. But I'm just going to order you to pay her. Good luck to you. Judgment for the plaintiff without the emotional distress. Have a good day.
I think this whole situation got blown up proportion, and I do want to apologize for my behavior. I guess this to me just getting overreacted and over riled up. It was like I had been dealing with a lot. It was like, so when I snapped on you, it wasn't like intentionally, you know, I apologize about that.
You've not learned anything. I think you need help. You need direction. You need therapy. You need boot camp.
And I think you need a life.